Oh my gosh, they finally made a video game adaptation where the characters in the film can respawn like you do in any video game, except for the Until Dawn game. God damn it.
You have to make it until dawn. What is that?
What an exciting opportunity to showcase on the big screen how powerful the narrative focus in the gaming industry has gotten by really taking a horror game that's got a lot of meat to the story and showcasing it on the big screen by not taking any of the story at all from the Until Dawn game, dear lord, but I'm sure they'll make up for it with the cast. I mean, the game alone had Rami Malek, Hayden Panettiere, Jordan Fisher. Who are they going to get? I can't wait to... I don't know any of these people. Fuck. Until Dawn stars the daughter from The Idea of You, somebody who was playing a teenager in Teen Beach Movie 12 years ago and still is, and somebody who was in senior year with Rebel Wilson. God, not an inspiring cast. At least they got Peter Stormare to come back from the game. That's something. Anyway, so girl dies at the start in a cabin in the woods, and then her sister, months later, with some friends, goes on a road trip to all the places that she was spotted before she disappeared. That's a depressing road trip. And then finds the cabin and then gets caught in a time loop where lots of murderous things want to try and kill them. And if they can survive until dawn, that's the only thing they kept from the game, then they get out of the time loop. But it's not really a time loop because... you know, like, if they die, like, too many times, then they'll actually die. It's more like lives in a video game. Not the Until Dawn video game, no. You have to love Hollywood's audacity. They took a video game that the creators themselves said they wanted to make it feel like an old-school slasher film. And then they made it into a film and tried to run away at every opportunity from making it feel like it was an old-school slasher film in any way. And I just... you know, it's frustrating. This feels a bit like a Fear Street film, but where those films kind of dive into and just use the vibe of like PG-13 horror quite well, I thought, in general. This isn't really doing that, and it doesn't have a vibe. It doesn't have anything. It's just such a weird energy around it. It feels like a Scooby-Doo film if the mystery gang just randomly started exploding because they drank tap water. I mean, tap water is disgusting in America, but still. It's just baffling to me, you know? The point where they, like, skip a bunch of nights in a row, I was kind of waiting. I was like, can we get a montage? Because, like, a really random, upbeat montage. It was so Scooby-Doo-like that wouldn't have felt out of place. But they didn't do that. They did 3 minutes of, like, found footage kind of horror style, which was meant to, I guess, just, like, honor, like, found footage horror films. Because this was so focused, and I'm so sick of people saying... I shouldn't get that annoyed about this, but I'm really tired of people saying, oh, this was a wonderful love letter to the horror genre, because that means that your favorite parts of it are the parts that they're just stealing from other places that did it better. But genuinely, with the found footage part, I felt like those 3 minutes, if the whole film had just been that, it probably would have been better. Now, having said all that, there are, because I didn't hate this, like, there are some advantages to making a film of this style. It shouldn't have been an Until Dawn film, but of this style, because you get to kind of you get to kind of lightly brush along, like, a lot of different types of horror. And the unknown itself, while that was what was so scary about it, what was coming next to attack them, to the characters, it worked for the audience as well, because... the genuine, like, sense of, like, dread around being like, oh my god, what's going to attack them next? I don't even know, so I don't know where to look or for what. And it actually, yeah, it leaves you a lot less, like, prepared for the jump scares. And some of the jump scares are just, like, your average style, not, like, perfectly done jump scares. But because of the mystery and the unknown of it all, it works a lot better than it should. I feel like they have gone for the... you could almost call it a clip show of horror. If you go in not knowing anything about the game and don't have someone who knows anything about the game to sit and whine at you, you know, like me, then you're probably going to enjoy it, you know. It's I would be very sad to see them make a sequel of it, though, but I think they will. I feel like we found our new Resident Evil, where they could make 8 more films of this, never mention anything to do with the game ever again, but, you know... can't do much about that, so I'm giving 28 Nights Later 3 stars. Just, you know, if they suddenly go like, oh my gosh, we've been here this long, and then it just kind of cuts into a, ooh, Sunday, Sunday kind of song while showing them all getting, like, brutally murdered 10 different times by different things. You telling me that wouldn't have been the funniest, best moment of cinema this year?